Steel, mud, and pure adrenaline. Before the world woke up, the Connecticut Quad Squad was already in motion. At a lonely commuter lot, they unleashed their beasts, machines built for battle, and pointed north toward the unknown. This wasn't just a ride, this was a mission. 3 days of incredible overlanding across Maine's wild backcountry. Welcome to the Connecticut Quad Squad Adventures, Maine Overlanding event. With the rising sun casting long shadows on the asphalt, one by one, they rolled in. They carried dreams, grit, and stories waiting to be written. Greetings were exchanged, gear was unpacked, radios synced, and GoPros armed.
Look at this GoPro, motorized GoPro. Oh my gosh, look at you.
Every bolt tightened, held the promise of terrain yet conquered. These weren't just machines, they were lifelines, built for the backwoods, armored for the unknown. In the stillness before the throttle, the squad made ready. 3 days, hundreds of miles, one mission, to ride until the map turns blank. The trail never let up, and neither did they. For 6 relentless hours, the Connecticut Quad Squad carved their way through Maine's untamed wilderness. Rivers crossed, ridges climbed, endless views that silenced even the loudest engines. And then, rising in the distance like giants against the dusk, the windmills, their destination, their base camp. Beneath the towering blaze, the squad laid claim to the land for the night. Tents went up, cook gear was set, and the fire crackled to life as stories, laughter, and trail talk echoed under a sky full of stars. A simple meal, a few good laughs, and the kind of peace only found far from cell towers and streetlights. This is how the CTQS does it. No distractions, no drama. Just the ride, the fire, and the brotherhood. As the flames burned low and the night air cooled, one by one, they turned in, resting up for the next chapter in this wild northern saga. Morning came early in the Maine wilderness. As the first light crept over the hills and windmills turned in the breeze, the Connecticut Quad Squad rose from their tents, quiet, focused, ready. Coffee hissed from camp stoves. Bacon crackled in the pan.
What are you having already?
A simple breakfast. Enough fuel to feed the body and the bond.
See everything. You guys have an awesome setup. You guys have done this more than once, it looks like.
Yeah, this is third trip.
I know. Good morning.
Good morning.
Look at you guys already going.
I got
Man.
chicken sausage, I got some
Wow.
bacon.
And then we have us here. This buggy. It's a little buggy.
I want to build an actual built-in in the back.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
I have a lot more.
With gear packed and machines prepped,
All right, here we are.
the camp came down like clockwork. Sleeping bags stowed, tents folded tight, coolers strapped, radios synced. Today isn't just another ride. It is a 100-mile push across some of the most rugged, remote terrain Maine has to offer.
Lunchtime. Cheers, cheers.
Cheers, cheers.
Well, that looks very
No
nice.
guarantees, no shortcuts. Only the promise of dirt, sweat, and the search for the next perfect place to call home for the night. After a long, winding day of trail miles, dust, and memories made, the Connecticut Quad Squad rolled into Jackman campgrounds. Tired, gritty, but smiling. It wasn't just a stop. It was a reward. They found their sights by a peaceful lake and wasted no time setting up camp. Tents popped up like clockwork. Camp stoves hissed to life. Grabbed some towels as the squad made a beeline for the campground showers. A simple pleasure,
you got the
but a
good stuff.
much-needed luxury after days in
Wow.
the dirt.
No. Listen, I follow those things. I go to YouTube. I follow all these companies.
I
That's a good one.
investigated and I wanted the
You
good
did.
one.
That's a good one.
As the sun dipped behind the trees, the real comfort set in. The guys set up the fire while the ladies of the squad had a surprise.
Look
Feast
how
prepared
tasty
and
that
packed
looks.
with care, now
Except
laid
you don't
out to
like it.
share. Grills sizzled, plates were passed, laughter danced through the evening air. And when bellies were full and stars began to claim the sky, it was time for the final tradition. S'mores by the fire, flames cracked, marshmallows toasted, and the bond between friends grew just a little tighter. One by one they turned in, tents zipped, camp quiet, resting easy by the lakeside, recharged and ready for whatever trail tomorrow might bring.
I had to wait. Okay, thank you. I like it.
Morning broke with a quiet kind of magic. The mist rolled gently over the lake inlet, and the world was still, untouched, serene. Across the inlet, a pair of seaplanes floated in the morning haze, still and graceful, waiting for the sun to rise high enough to lift them into the sky. And then, the smells of breakfast began to drift through the trees.
Good morning,
One family
everyone.
gathered around the stove,
How's breakfast?
flipping pancakes and sizzling bacon, laughter mixing with the sound of spatulas and crackling burners. These were the moments, real, raw, and full of heart. The engines roared back to life as we left Jackman campgrounds behind, fueled up, recharged, and ready for what would become the wildest chapter yet. But adventure doesn't wait, and neither does a freight train. Just before we could hit the trail, we were stopped in our tracks. A massive Canadian Pacific Kansas City train rolled by. Car after car, steel thundering against steel. 30 minutes of standing still, while our adrenaline
Stop.
begged to move.
Smile on the way by.
And then, we were off. 77 miles of pure backcountry. 6 hours of dirt, dust, river crossings, and rugged terrain. The trail pushed us. The wilderness welcomed us. And somewhere deep in the ride, it struck. A flat tire. But CTQS doesn't break. We rally. Tools out, sleeves rolled,
He found
and
them.
hands in motion.
He found the plugs.
Meanwhile, the ladies worked their own magic. Snacks appeared from coolers like fuel for the soul. A roadside pit stop turned into a moment of teamwork, laughter, and grit. With the tire repaired and our bellies full, we proceeded our journey to find the greatest place yet. Then, back on the trail, mile after mile of raw beauty. We were tired, bodies aching, minds worn. The ride pulled us forward. And then we found it, Austin Pond, like something out of a dream. Still waters, towering trees, and the perfect place to set camp. But even paradise takes a little work. With machines rumbling and gear piled high, we had to scout carefully, weaving through narrow paths and hidden clearings to find a spot big enough to handle the whole crew. It had to be flat, it had to be dry, and it had to give us that million-dollar view. Finally, after circling and checking, we found it. A patch of ground by the water's edge that was just right. Tents went up, boots came off, and one by one, we stepped into the cool waters, washing away the dust, cooling the soul. But even though the shelters were standing, the job wasn't done. Tarps were strung. Firewood was chopped and stacked with purpose. There were still details, the kind that turn a campsite into a home.
So what are you guys doing?
A hammock was hung for the kids, their laughter already filling the trees. Everyone had a job. Everyone pulled together.
Jackman was nice.
And when the last knot was tied and the last log split, it was time.
Cheers.
We raised a toast.
We'll get
A
Josh
cheers to
and
the
the
miles
guys
behind
later.
us
We'll do a take
and to
two.
the unforgettable night ahead.
Take 2.
And then 3 and 4.
As the sun dipped low, the fire lit the night. We gathered around the fire, not just to warm our hands, but to soak in a perfect night. Overhead, a full moon bathed the camp in silver light. The sky was clear, the air crisp, cool enough to feel alive, but not enough to chase us from the fire. And while we laughed, relaxed, and looked up at the stars, something special was happening behind the scenes. Dinner, the CTQS way. Tonight's meal wasn't just cooked, it was crafted. Pizza made right there on site. Dough rising beside the fire, toppings prepped by hand, and each pie baked to perfection with a view that would make any restaurant jealous. It wasn't just food, it was a celebration, a reward for the road behind us, and a memory we'll carry for the rest of our lives. And there we were, gathered around one last fire, flames dancing high, laughter echoing into the night. Faces lit by firelight, tired from the trail, but alive. These are the moments we chase, the ones where time slows down, where miles and machines take a back seat to friendship, to stories, to the kind of joy that can't be measured in horsepower or GPS tracks. We came for the ride, but we found something greater: connection, courage, and the kind of memories that'll live long after the embers fade. As the fire burned low and the stars watched over us, we knew this wasn't the end, just the close of one chapter in a story that only gets better every time we ride. Until next time, this was the Connecticut Quad Squad.
Okay. This is the end of the weekend. We're at the tent. We got a light there. The neighbors are on that side. Hey, keep it quiet, all right? Hey, don't flush that commode. All right. Neighbors on the other side. Can't see them. Yeah, sleeping bags. Tent from what? 1999. But we do have some modern technology here that could set the whole place on fire.
Oh my God, stop.
No, it won't. Josh is a fireman, so he's next door. He'll be fine. We'll be okay. No worries about, dental ID. Sorry, I'm taking a video, okay? I'm video logging.
She wasn't even gentle about it. She's like, God, we have loud neighbors.